Welcome back to Drishti IAS. You all have given the paper, the CSC 2026. Let's start today's discussion for the subject of polity. We do have questions from the public administration side also. Generally, UPSC used to ask the question from the governance area with polity. However, some PubAd or some unconventional questions are also here. Let's look into it. Now, Mr. X, a senior officer, was overseeing a critical vaccination program during a pandemic. He found that a private service provider responsible for vaccine distribution was compromising on quality to make profits. Now that's okay. So he's found something now. So despite immense pressure to manage the issue due to vested interest, he raised his voice based on the principle of public administration, which he learned during various training programs attended across his career. He reported the issue to the appropriate vigilance authority and halted the contract to ensure citizen welfare now. Which one of the following principle of the public administration was most strongly demonstrated by Mr. X action? We have four options: esprit de corps, equity, accountability, delegation. Now, if we actually look into these terminology itself, so delegation would be going out in general. See, generally about this term we study in public administration. However, let's say if you do not know in general about, let's say, this question altogether, and you have not heard about this term. However, at least delegation, we know that's delegation of something, is not giving it to somebody else. So at least delegation goes out. Now, equity we find, so the case is not of equity. During the discussion of Article 14, we do study equity, equality. So we get the idea there is no equity concept. Okay, I'm just telling you that if you do not know the terminology altogether. So if there's a confusion between A and C, that's in general that you were actually going in the right direction. However, we do find that the case is of the accountability, as he is accountable. Because during the training they are taught that you have the accountability towards the public, towards the nation, and because of that principle, he has gone into this particular domain. Now, in general, esprit de corps, you can say the spirit of, let's say, brotherhood, the organization, the unity, camaraderie. In general, I'm saying in public administration, we do have comparatively a bigger discussion. However, we find that in this particular question, we have this should be the answer. Okay. Now, let's look at the next question. In a multi-ethnic district where both economic competition and historical grievances frequently led to community tension. Fair enough. Okay. So we have got multiple communities are there, or communities there, and then there are tensions. Okay. A flashpoint has arisen with a government-based decision to allocate land for a management facility near a tribal hamlet. Okay. So this is a trigger point now. Now, or finally, now issue is actually now is going to go out of hand right now, sparking protest by the tribal community, which claim that the land was sacred. So you have to respect community irrespective of the numbers. So okay, so land was sacred and critical to their cultural identity. It becomes comparatively more important because it is not only sacred, also it is very much core or very much important for that identity altogether. At the same time, urban residents and local industries supported the project. So you do have a certain kind of support. Okay. Citing severe solid waste collection or waste challenge and health concern due to lack of proper disposal site, they also have a valid, at least, reason up to a certain level. However, the conflict has escalated with road blockades, social media campaigns, and allegations of police excesses. Okay. As a responsible government official, you are tasked with resolving the situation through mediation, ensuring a sustainable outcome that balances environmental needs, tribal rights, and urban public health. So we'll have to manage, right? So it's not that you go in one direction, but you have to balance it out. Let's look at the options. Consider the following statements with reference to the above. A successful conflict resolution process must begin with acknowledging the cultural concerns of the protesting tribal community, before discussing technical alternatives. Yes, so you have to agree to it. See, if they are protesting, if they are saying that it is important to us, so maybe an outsider would not be able to understand what is sacred to somebody, right? So at least once we acknowledge that, okay, now this is sacred to you, we are not disputing that particular fact that this is not sacred to you. We are saying, agreed, this is sacred to you. So the point is, what the point you are raising is genuine. Yes, the officer is supposed to do this. Okay, so one is, at least we would be picking up the first one, because if we don't accept it, then we will not be able to look from their point of view also. So one, at least I would be picking up. The government should move ahead with the project without delay to address urban health concern which outweigh the sentiments of small group. No, even if you're a small group, this is totally, let's say this concept would be majoritarianism, wherein the majority community, just because they are bigger and more in numbers, they are saying that, oh, you are a smaller group, so we should not be much concerned about you, and we need to be concerned about only the larger group. No, this has to go out. So at least one is right, two is wrong in this particular, let's say. Okay, so half of the question is here. Okay, creating a multi-stakeholder dialogue platform including tribal leaders, environmental experts and municipal representatives to build mutual understanding and help de-escalate tension. Right, yes, an officer has to pick up like this, so that you have options. Let's say you're including the tribal leaders also, so their view is also there, including environmental experts also, so that you get the idea that is it feasible environmentally or not. Municipal representative, so they will give you the options also. So multi-stakeholder approach always is generally good. So you have 1, 3, conducting an independent environmental and social impact assessment and sharing findings transparently with both sides to facilitate evidence-based decision making. Yes, now this is also, so we do independent research, right? So we means they are going to do the independent research, or they'll find out that is it feasible, is it making sense, is it actually scientifically we need to do it, so that we are able to convince the others also that this is what the report is saying. It's not on my whims and fancies. It's not that I'm looking at one side. I'm looking at both the side, plus we also have an independent view also, and they are giving the scientific particular approach. So yes, 1, 3 and 4. Now let's look at the option. Which of the following statements given above would contribute to the resolution process? 1, 3, okay. So we do have the option 1, 3, 4, and 2 has to go out. So okay, if you would have only removed option 2, let's say the government should move ahead, this majoritarianism approach, if you would have removed, we would have got the right answer. 2, 2, 2. Now, yeah, now let me tell you about a beautiful offer. At Drishti IAS, we've got up to 50% off on all these courses, okay? And if you would like to avail this particular offer, please call upon this number. Now, let's look at another question. Miss X is a mid-level civil service official working in the urban development department of a major city. Recently, she was involved in approving a contract for a public infrastructure project, a new community park, for a public infrastructure project, okay, a new community park, okay. During the approval process, she received a piece of confidential information. Now, okay, an information has come indicating that one of the shortlisted contractors had a history of poor workmanship and allegations of corruption. Okay, now, so the allegations of corruption, so it's not yet been proven, right? So the contractor had a history of poor workmanship. Now, here I would say that, okay, we get some kind of point. However, the allegations of corruption, it means that it's not yet been proven. In other cities, though nothing has been legally proven. Okay, so nothing has been proven. Now the person, as per in terms of the justice, nothing has been proven. No, he's not been found guilty. So now let's look at the head of the department, Mr. Y, advised her not to disclose this information. Oh, so there is somebody else also who is telling me or telling this lady not to disclose this information. So this does raise a red flag. Not to disclose this information to the project committee or public. At least to public we should not at least disclose, but to the committee at least we should disclose. Let's read ahead. To the project committee or the public, because it could delay the project and damage the city's reputation. Why city's reputation is being damaged if we are saying that somebody else? On the contrary, we should let's read the question and we'll take a decision. However, Ms. X believed that withholding such information would compromise or information compromise transparency and public trust. Okay, now she is right. What amongst the following should Ms. X do now? Immediately disclose the information to the project committee and the public? No. It is here, no. Nothing has been proven and you should not do it, at least to the public. So this goes out. Recommend removing the contractor from the shortlist to protect the project's integrity. See, nothing has been proven till now. These are allegations, but let's read the other one, because let's say if I remove one, I have these two options. So 3 has to be right. Propose a limited disclosure to an oversight committee while keeping the information confidential from the public for the time being. See, now 3 is right, there's no doubt about that. Now I'll tell you one thing. I want to take only 3 as an option, and most probably this would be the right one only 3. Okay, there is one option. I'm only saying that that UPSC may pick up 2 also, may. Okay, so see, firstly, we cannot punish a person who is not yet been found guilty, right? So it's not been proven. So principle of natural justice says that you should not be punishing somebody who is not guilty. So in that context, at least 2 should not be there. However, the point is, I am a mid-level or the person is a mid-level officer. So it's only a recommendation. Okay, so let's say what she should do on the file, she should say that approved. No, at least in the file she should notice, or she should note those things, that these allegations, and these are allegations. Now there could be a possibility that UPSC may be going into, because she is recommending, okay, now she's not the topmost one, she's not the one who's taking the decision. She is recommending on certain allegations, wherein 2 things. One is the allegations, and also there is somebody else also who's saying not to do it. Now in this context, as we've got precautionary principle also, wherein before, let's say when you're doing a project at a larger scale, there could be a possibility that certain red flags are coming in. So because of that, there could be a possibility she may recommend. Okay, again, it's directly termination is not there. She's showing a red flag, or 2 red flags has come. Let's say this could be, let's say there could be somebody because of ulterior motive also, they might have been doing it. There could be a possibility. Mostly tilted towards 3 side. I'm saying there could be a possibility that UPSC may pick up 2 and 3 also. So mostly this side only 3, but this is one view wherein I feel that it could be a possibility. Okay, so it's only because a recommendation, also not to blacklist, but only to currently removing from the shortlisted one, right? Because otherwise, who knows, later on if something wrong happens and the officer finally asks why you did not take, let's say, why you did not mention it, and yes, disclosure. Now here it is being mentioned, but it may be termed as negligence on the officer side. It may be. So in this context, I am saying 2 and 3, but mostly only 3, right? Now, X was addressing this here, UPSC X, Y. Okay, so this is I don't think so. We've seen these kinds of questions. Now, X was addressing a seminar on the meaning of the term law, okay, as provided under Article 13. Okay, fair enough. At least one question on the fundamental right. Now, Part 3 of the Constitution of India. X explained that the meaning of term law in the Constitution of India was very comprehensive, no doubt about it. It included ordinances, yes, it does include ordinances, orders, even rules and regulations. Okay, yes, it does include all these three. Why? Pointed out that the term law in Article 13 also included customs, yes, include custom, or usage having in the territory of India the force of law. Fair enough. If there is certain custom wherein it has the, let's say, just to give you an example, let's say, if under Hinduism, if there is, let's say, if there is a law which says that you have to take, let's say, the in context of, let's say, you have to go around the sacred fire for 7 times, then it will be considered as somebody legally married. Maybe in that context, I am saying that customs which is having force of law. Okay, so this is also included. To which X was not convinced. Okay, so now the point is X has given a definition which is right. Okay, but it's not full definition. He's given certain thing which is there. Y added to the X definition, or Y added to that, okay, this also includes these customs and the force of law, or usage having in territory of India the force of law. So, okay, now X was not convinced. So, if X was not convinced, let's look at the option. Based on the above, select the correct conclusion from the option given below. Now, X is correct. No, X is not correct, because X is saying that you are wrong. X is not being convinced, or X is Y. X has given, let's say, one part, Y gives another part. So both are right. However, the point is, but X is disagreeing to Y. So now X becomes wrong because he is disagreeing. Y is also saying what? Y is also telling the truth that, okay, yes, Article 13 does include it. So X is correct. Now here itself it goes out. X is correct in the interpretation of law, including the view on non-inclusion of custom. No, this is wrong. The view of Y that law included customs is not correct. No, this is also out. The views of both X and Y are correct. Now, see, in general, I personally believe that most of the students would actually pick this C. The reason being that, and this is it's actually a good question. The point is, we've got X is giving the right information, Y is giving the right information, but later on X contradicts Y. No, that your one is not right, and because of that, X view becomes wrong. So because of this, the views of both X and Y are correct. This is wrong because here itself I've told you it is wrong. So the view of only Y is correct. And there could be a possibility many of the students might have ticked C. However, now you know, because had it not been the last line, if you remove the last line, let's say, if you put it here, let's say till this particular portion, then both are right. But later on, because to which X was not convinced, so X is contradicting Y, so this is because of this, it becomes a wrong one. I hope you, beautiful question actually. So not only with normal understanding, you require a better understanding, a deeper understanding. In one go, in one reading, there could be a possibility that you may pick up C. Okay, however, the answer is D. Consider the following statements with reference to the Constitution of India. There is no article in the Constitution of India that specifies that the Constitution of India will be officially called the Constitution of India. Oh, see, UPSC has a habit of asking that, okay, this word is there, this word is not there in general. We do find these kinds of questions. Now, this particular statement is wrong. If you look into, if I'm not wrong, 393, that should be saying this particular thing. So this statement is wrong. There is no article in the Constitution of India that specifies that the Indian Independence Act 1947 and the Government of India Act 1935 stands repealed. Oh, 395, wrong. There is no article in the Constitution of India that mentions 26 January 1950 as the date of the commencement of this Constitution. Oh, wrong. 394. So 393, 394, 395. So articles. Which one of the following conclusions based on the above statement is correct? All the statements are correct. There is no correct statement. Okay. So you have the answer is B. Which of the following statements with regard to the persons with disabilities, okay, in India are correct? The Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, an act passed by the Parliament of India in 2018. Oh, this is not right. This is 2016. Now, I generally do not see UPSC asking questions in terms of, let's say, years, wherein maybe the year is 2017 and they ask you 16 or 16, or they ask you, let's say, 15 or 14, something like this thing. But they did ask this kind of question. Generally, I expected from the state PCS examination, wherein they may play on the year, let's say, in context of the year wherein 18, 17, 16, 15 and so on, but we do have it 2016. So first statement is wrong. So 2016, because of that itself it becomes wrong. So first is wrong. You've got, oh, so if you remove the first one, you get the right answer. Now, because of this, it becomes a very easy comparatively question. The Sugyam Bharat Abhiyan focuses on achieving universal accessibility for persons with disabilities across the three key domains: built infrastructure, transport system, and information and communication technology. Fair enough. This, it has to be the right one, but this is right. So, the National Divyang Finance and Development Corporation is a public sector organization set up by the Ministry of Corporate. Why would Ministry of Corporate Affairs set it at least social justice? If they would have written something, it would have been comparatively more confusing with the other statement. However, with this, we know this is a wrong statement. I've already told you the right answer. It is the only two. Next question. Consider the following statements about the provision pertaining to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in India. Okay. Provisions regarding the administration of tribal areas in states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. So, Tamimi, AMTM, this is 6th schedule, right? Are given in the 5th schedule. This is wrong. So, this goes out. Some tribes of India are entitled to exemption from paying income tax on certain income. Yes, yes. So, I mentioned some tribes and on certain types of income. So, it's not that on all income it is, let's say, you are being exempted. Mostly in the northeast of India, we do find a lot of tribe being, let's say, they are not supposed to pay tax on certain type of income. Don't think on all type of income or on certain types of income. Not only in northeast, if I'm not wrong, even Ladakh. Okay, in that side also we have that certain tribes could be there. So 2 is right. The Constitution of India provides for reservation of seats in Panchayat for women belonging to SCs and STs. Yeah, this is pretty much straightforward. 243D, or in terms of, see, minimum 1/3 reservation is there, though most of the states have given almost half reservation in the states for panchayats, PRIs. However, this is a straightforward one. So you have the 2 and 3. Which one of the following conclusion based on the above statement is correct? There are 2 correct statements that include statement 2. Okay, this is there are 2. Let's read the, because UPSC never used to ask this kind of statement also. There are 2 correct statements that has statements 1 and 3. No, this is out. There's only one correct statement. No, all the 3 statements are correct. So you have the A1 is the right. A is the. This was comparatively simpler. Now, so we've got a limited offer also. Now that's flat 50% off. In terms of this, is I'm talking about the foundation course. Okay, so you have, let's say, these are, let's say, very limited offer, and because we've seen that PT has happened and there is a lot of demand also for our courses also. So because of that, we are going in for limited period offer. Instead of 1,10,000 rupees, you only have to pay 55,000. And if you want to avail this particular offer, you have the number. Okay, you will get all these, let's say, benefits also. You can pause the video and look into it. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Consider the following statements in respect of questions asked by the members in the Parliament of India. Unstarred question. Unstarred questions are those to which a member desires an oral answer in the House. No. It is starred one. Starred question are those to which a member desires a written answer. No. So it is, let's say, this, and it has to be, let's say, like this. So starred question are those which a member desires an oral answer, and unstarred are those in which a member desires a written answer. So they've just switched it over. Now this is a comparatively very simple question. Now 1, 2 goes out. No supplementary questions can be asked on an unstarred question. Right? So we've got no supplementary question, right? Because it's a written one. So if you have a written one, then supplementary is not there. If an oral is there, okay, in that context, you may have the supplementary question. Which one of the following conclusions based on the above statement is correct? All three statements are correct? No. There are two correct statements that include statement 2. There is only one correct statement. There is no correct statement. Okay. So you have this one. Okay. Consider the following statements about the Committee on Welfare of Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes of the Parliament of India. So UPSC does ask questions on the parliamentary committee. That's an important area, but we don't see, let's say, question from this particular committee. However, let's read it. Although members of this committee are elected from both houses of parliament, okay, joint committee. The chairperson of this committee is appointed by chairman of Rajya Sabha. No, Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, you have 20 from Lok Sabha and 10 from Rajya Sabha. So this is wrong. Right, so it is Lok Sabha is the one who's the chairperson, means the speaker. 20 are elected by Rajya Sabha. No, it's 20 by Lok Sabha and 10 by Rajya Sabha. So okay, this is also wrong. No minister except the union minister. Why are you putting except? You in these committees you cannot have minister. So irrespective whichever minister if they put, that becomes a wrong one. No minister, even if you are a minister, let's say, and let's say you are an MP and suddenly you are made a minister and you were a member of this committee, you cease to be a member of this committee. So even let's say for any day, even for a few hours, you are not allowed. So exception is not there. Members are elected for a fixed term of 2 years. No. 1 year from the date they enter their office. No, 1 year. So this is also wrong. So all are wrong. Which one of the following conclusions based on the above statement is correct? There are 4 correct statements. No. There is only 1 correct statement. No. There are 2 correct statements that include statement 1. No. There is no correct statement. This one. Which one of the following statement about zero FIR under the BNSS 2023 are correct? A zero FIR can be lodged at a police station, okay, even though the place of commission of a cognizable and non-cognizable offence is outside the territorial jurisdiction of that police station. Zero FIR can be filed. Let's say, see, this particular concept, it came very much in news during after the December gang rape, let's say in Delhi, and Justice Verma committee had recommended for the zero FIR. The term zero FIR is still not there in BNSS. The concept is there, that irrespective of the place, you can go and file an FIR, or let's say zero FIR. So that the police, lot of time it happens that the police, you go to the police station, you approve and you say that please register my complaint, and then you find that police, they are not registering it. So because of that, this particular concept has been introduced, but the term is not there. Okay, zero FIR can be lodged at the police station even though the place of commission of a cognizable, non-cognizable, no, it's only, let's say, serious offences. So this becomes wrong. So if that's a serious offence, fair enough, you can do zero FIR. Other than that, you cannot do it. If I'm not wrong, that it has to be section 173 of BNSS. So this one is wrong. The officer in charge of police station where a zero FIR has been lodged may, with the permission of the competent authority, initiate a preliminary inquiry. See, in general, what happens when you file a zero FIR, then the officer who is registering, they are supposed to actually send it to the concerned police station where the crime has happened. Generally, they are not supposed to investigate on their own because it's not their jurisdiction. Logically, so don't think that logically this is going to happen. Now, under certain condition, because see, the point is they've said may, with the permission of competent authority, okay, initiate a preliminary inquiry. So it's an exception, and we may consider it as to be right. Okay, but let's look at the other one also, then we look into the options also. Under zero FIR, it is obligatory for the informant to furnish information electronically. Why? In India, we do, how you are expected, let's say if you are a person from, let's say, a deprived society, how is it expected out of you that there is a problem and you only file it online? No, no, it cannot be there. So somebody with a decent understanding that it cannot be there. For, let's say, any kind of cognizable offense, even if you're confused with cognizable or non-cognizable, but at least with this, you can be sure that it cannot be only on the, let's say, electronically one. So 3 has to go out. So with this, you only get one option, right? So I did tell you that under certain exception, you do have the second one as right. And with comparatively lesser information also, you could have, with this information itself, you might have gone into the right answer. There could have been confusion. A lot of students may not know about the cognizable and non-cognizable. In that context, could be a confusing one, but 3 could have been removed easily. Okay. Now, with reference to the organizations under the Government of India, consider the following details. Central Economic Intelligence Bureau, that's Finance Ministry, to coordinate between various law enforcement, Ministry of Home, no. This is out. Now, so finance is not home. Serious Fraud Investigation Office to investigate complex corporate frauds. Ministry of Corporate Affairs, yes, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Ministry of Finance, no. Corporate. This is also out. CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, that's DOPT. Okay. To preserve values in public life and ensure the health of the national economy. So this could confuse students, yes, that how come they are going into the health of national economy, it's an investigative agency. However, let's say corruption, or let's say corruption at a higher level, bribery, all these things are against the public values, right? So if you divide it, you may find it that, okay, this could be a possibility. A lot of students may think that this is a wrong option, but this is also a right one. And ensure the health of the national economy. Now, health of the economy, when you talk about, let's say, serious offenses, frauds, thousands of crores frauds, you might have seen that, okay, the investigation has been given to CBI or it has been transferred to CBI. In that context, so this has to be considered as right. It should be the vision also of CBI, if I'm not wrong, but so I would consider this thing to be right in this context. 3, this is also there. Ministry of, okay, fair enough, DOPT, that's department that's under the Ministry of Personal Public Grievance. So under let's say, so I gave you the department name itself, and that's Ministry of Personal, and this is the one. So the third one is right. In how many of the above rows are the given details correctly matched? Okay, so there is only one row now. So there's how many of the above? So only one row. So they're not asking which statement altogether. So a lot of students may believe that, okay, it is the third row. A lot of people may believe it to be third because the answer is, let's say, this one only, but the question is, in how many of the above rows? How many of the above rows? So we have one row. That has to be the third one. So it is A1. Okay, so before we wind up, so these were the questions in context of from the polity. We did have the let's say public administration as well as the governance questions also this time. Mostly we used to have governance side questions, but generally not from the PubAd side. Before we wind up the polity discussion, let me tell you about a beautiful program, that's the Asmita scheme 2026. If you've been our student of, let's say, the foundation course, irrespective, let's say you've been a foundation course student from the, let's say, offline, online, or any, let's say, the pen drive course, if you pass your prelims, you are going to get all these benefits, okay, and no charge would be there. Hostel facility in Noida, so irrespective of, let's say, the city you are in, still going to get it free of cost, one-to-one, let's say, group, and the group mentoring. So you will have mentored, you can have mentored, let's say, individual discussion also, and the group discussion also could be there. Numerous mock tests we are going to have also. Library and peer learning, because see, a lot of time we may not get that environment which is required for this particular exam. So we would be providing you with that also. Mentorship support in general also, and one-to-one also we would be having, and a regular answer writing practice also would be there. So it's a beautiful program, and once the result comes in, and my best wishes, and once you qualify, make sure that you come and join, and there's no fee for it. Okay, so thank you, all the best.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.